Okay, welcome everyone on Team Blue. I am super excited for this segment, and hopefully you guys are too. We do get a lot of questions about relocation, so hopefully we'll be able to clarify some things with you today. I have Billy Ekofo.
Yes.
You guys probably recognize him because he's been on CIR Live a few times now, and he is the Vice President of Business Solutions at LeadingRE, and he's basically the big deal in Canada. He runs, he runs the Canadian division of LeadingRE, so he's the perfect guy for us to talk to about this. So.
Now I don't know if I can live through this, Chloe.
That's the fun of it, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so welcome back, and thank you for doing this with us today. So let's talk about the referral network. So tell us a little bit about the referral network in general.
Mm-hmm. So
with LeadingRE.
Yeah. So LeadingRE is multiple things, right? So within the company, we have a commercial, a commercial division. The primary pool of our member is residential real estate, but we also have a full-on relocation company that is part of LeadingRE. So a lot of services, right, like within LeadingRE, but the bedrock of the network is the ability for each members to be able to send other members referrals and receive referrals. So if you think about all the services and all the things that we offer as a network, this is one of the prime, if not the prime value proposition, right? As you look at Canada, so as far as the LeadingRE network, knowing that there's a company in Vancouver that, an agent there has a client and they're looking to buy all the way in Montreal, they can literally, send a referral and there's a LeadingRE member there that can service that. So that peace of mind and the fact that ultimately that transaction will actually happen, that's the foundation of the network. And we've been doing this since 1963. So I think,
wow,
right, like there's components to this that we should have mastered by now. This is one of them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I know so, actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and so we're going to talk about Canada in a second, but this is a worldwide network that we have access to through
Indeed. Yeah. So you guys know the numbers, so there's no need for me to regurgitate it, but we have presence in just about all the key markets around the world. And so it's if I'm an agent, I'm thinking along those terms, I'm like, there's LeadingRE in major markets in Canada, major markets in the US, major market in South America, Europe, EMEA, whatever, and then APAC. So we're all covered. So
wonderful. Okay. So why would an agent care that they're using a LeadingRE brokerage rather than just going on Facebook and saying, hey, does anyone know anyone good in Saskatchewan or something like that? Yeah.
So, let's be real about this, right? One of the key things about LeadingRE is that we vet all of our members go through a vetting process. And part of that vetting process, and I think it's important for people who are listening to know about this, is that we actually make sure that they have a way within the company to handle business coming to them. So in other words, we look at, how good they are in terms of market share, other components. And then one of the primary level vetting that we do is to analyze whether or not they are equipped, in fact, to receive business from other members as well. So the time you're spending to go on Facebook and type, hey, does anybody have a cool agent that I can connect with in Toronto? By the time you type that out, we have an entire directory of several companies in the area with superb agents that you can literally connect with them in less than 5 minutes through the relocation department, right? So
that's so awesome.
Right, it's the convenience of knowing that there's a vetted member within the network that you can send business to, and that business will be handled properly so that you don't have to search around and trying to figure out, well, who's out there that can handle my clients, right?
Right. It's funny because one of the things that I talk about when I'm talking about leading RE with new agents that are coming on with CIR is that it's a real privilege to be able to be a part of leading RE. And we were vetted just like every other company was vetted. So it's a real privilege to be a part of it. And you know that if, we had to go through the ringer to be a part of this,
that's it.
The other end of this are just the same. So there's a lot of satisfaction, like comfort in knowing that your leads and your clients are going to good people and good companies. So
for sure. I mean, we can get even into the weeds over this, right? Like,
of course, yeah.
To be 100% open here, like if I'm an agent right now, if I have time to go and ask where there are other agents in the market that can handle my clients, like part of the value prop here is that you shouldn't have to do that. Why? Because you have a majestic relocation department that can do that for you. And I use that as a way to build further value for my clients. So I never want to come to a client and say, oh, by the way, I have these little connections around the country. I'm like, no, forget that. Wherever you want to go in the world, you're set because I'm part of this network. Like that, it just elevates the value proposition. That's really what this is about. So.
Totally. Makes sense. Okay, let's talk a bit about the Canadian network. Let's talk about some of our partners in some of the major city centers.
Yes. So you guys are in Calgary, right?
Yeah.
So what, 3 hours north?
Calgary area, Southern Alberta.
Right. So 3 hours north of you is what, Edmonton?
Yeah.
We have members there, right? So look, you don't need to drive 3 hours. You can just reach out and say, we have members there. If you go west from you, like in major metropolitan markets there, so Vancouver, we have a couple members there. Dexter Realty is there, and then you have McDonald Realty, longtime members of the network, really well-respected companies. You go all the way to Victoria Island, we have a member there, DFH Real Estate, also long-time standing members of the network. From Calgary going eastward, GTA is where we, the Greater Toronto area, we have members basically all over that map. Two key members in Toronto proper, Harvey Callis, and then you have Bosley Real Estate. We have members that cover, Niagara on the Lake. So, the property gallery is there. Even in Winnipeg, we have a member there, right? So,
that's so awesome.
Right, and
you never know where people are going to move.
That's it. And you go all the way to Quebec. Two members there. One is M Real Estate, the other one is Profusion. So again, it doesn't matter where you go, right? Like your clients have options, right? And if they need to go to a market that appeals to, because of the weather, or they just need a change of scenery and they want to speak French all the time, it doesn't matter, right? So
we don't judge the reasons they're moving.
No, but you should know that whatever that reason is, they will be serviced. That's right.
That's awesome. Last question before I let you go. I wanted to stress that this network is a group of independent brokerages.
Yeah.
And I just wanted you to kind of speak to what is the value or what's the importance in supporting these other independent brokerages as well?
No, this is a great question. And I'm not entirely sure how to answer it because I don't want to seem like I'm biased one way or the other, but I'm totally biased towards independent. And the reason is, I used to be at a franchise and a great franchise locally. And one of the things that was always a tug of war between us and the franchise was the fact that we will go so far into implementing certain things as a franchise company that was in those things or, new processes that really were in demand in the market. And it will come to head with the franchise powers that be. And it was always a tug of war, right?
Right.
And that's, unfortunately, when you're a franchise, that's what you experience constantly, right? There's a ceiling that you hit when it comes to creativity, when it comes to things you can do, even sometimes pivoting your business, that independents just don't have those issues with, because they can literally just change in the course, on a dime and adopt and, change processes, even for agents, right? You only have certain freedom underneath a franchise. Again, we're not here to bash them,
Yeah, no, of course not.
It's just the reality of the fact, and anybody that tells you otherwise probably doesn't understand what's happening, right? And, at some point they will experience it. So the notion for us is, look, there's a lot of things that independently owned brokerages who are really anchored into the community and have a good presence there need support with. That's the whole reason why LeadingRE exists, is to ensure that companies like CIR and the likes across Canada have a way for them to not only learn from each other, grow with each other, and be able to offer more business opportunities for agents. So everything we do at LeadingRE, that's the agent is the North Star, right? Like we can't deviate from it. And the independent, if you're going to survive, for the long term, like you need to be able to know that there's someone else down the road that struggles with the same things that I do, and let's support each other, right? So
very collaborative environment to be a part of.
It has to be, right? If the business, if 2020 didn't teach us anything else, it taught us that, we share some common problems, and the only way we survive is together. So,
love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Billy. And just putting it out there, if you guys have any relocation needs, please reach out to the CIR team, management team. We will definitely connect you with the right people and make sure that your clients are taken care of. So Thank you again for your time. And thank you guys for tuning in and staying with us. Okay, bye.
Cheers.